This is a Harper Guys production.
The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
But good luck arguing that in court. Let me get down to brass tacks.
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
Jack, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks here.
Are you hating on Neil Diamond?
Holy fuck Neil Diamond.
Our dream of deathmatch is going to come to fruition, and my golden ticket is going to pay off.
Hoo-ah.
Don't you fucking hoo-ah me, motherfucker.
I want the ability to time travel.
This is stupid. Welcome to the Hopper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake. With me is always my co-host, Adam.
That's right.
And he's here to get us started with our little PSA.
Before I do the PSA, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Before I do the PSA, I want to say that bottle cap, I threw it at the camera and I freaking hit it.
Nice.
So I hope that comes out cool.
I'm sure it will.
Probably shook a little bit.
Maybe.
Fucked everything up.
Whoa.
Welcome to the #1 podcast, Common Sense Podcast in the universe. We've just expanded. Now, the last show I said, I don't know why I even wrote that because I used to say in the world. Now it's the universe.
Yeah.
That's why we expanded. I figured it out.
Right. And if you're in another universe, we'll be coming to you soon.
That's right. Episode 109. Visit us at theharperguys.com. There you can also find our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube links. You can also find us everywhere podcasts are found.
Boom.
If you have ideas, complaints, or just want to say hello, email us at theharperguys@gmail.com. We have received, in how many years have we been doing this?
4
or 5? We probably received 2 emails.
I know.
Come on, motherfuckers!
I know it's behind the times.
Just email us and say, you guys suck. We would love it.
Yeah. We would, but we probably need to get more active on social media instead of going to our 1994 roots of email, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I guess it works both ways.
Right. Modern problems require modern solutions, right?
Yeah. I guess that's one thing. We have kind of just, due to life and just being a little lazy, and it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing a lot of it, I would do most of it on like lunch breaks, or if I was completely bored at home.
Sure.
Or sometimes, I don't know when, but it's a lot to keep up with.
Sure.
And we had 2 or 3 Twitters that 2 that we tried to keep up a lot.
Yep.
One was just kind of an overall, like I would just copy the shit that we would do as the Harper Guys productions type thing, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. But I'm looking forward to getting back at it a little bit. For tonight, let's kick some ass.
Yeah. So that's one thing. We're not going to sit here and say this is how it's going to be, but we're planning on getting back into the routine.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Hateful Eight and in the Loving 100 or whoever is following the gallows, which is a lot more than the Hateful Eight, but
right.
we love you either way.
That's right.
And fasten your fucking seatbelts.
Right. What do we got on tap for tonight, man?
I had so much I wanted to talk about, and I always, as I'm like walking through the door and I'm talking to you, I do write most of it down.
Yeah.
But then there's a few things that like pop in my head. I'm like,
Sure.
I gotta fucking talk about that.
That's why we got a pen.
So I'm gonna talk first off about hats.
Okay.
You love hats.
I do.
I love hats.
Yeah.
But there are certain hats that I don't enjoy wearing.
Yeah.
I bought 2 hats, got them in the mail today.
I was going to say, were you being metaphoric right there? Or are you talking about actual ball caps?
So I'm talking about actual ball caps.
Gotcha.
Not like I wear 12 hats at work.
Well,
no.
that's
because we
Wasn't sure where you were taking the conversation. I was
No.
just checking.
this is my style kind of cap
Yeah.
right here. I like it where it's kind of it kind of fits the skull a little bit.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a hat between looks or this type style, this is what I would get. Now I bought 2 online. This one has a little bit more of a. I was talking about this when I got here. A little bit more of a tall cap.
Yeah.
At some point it will get broken in.
Yeah.
But it will never be like this.
Right.
Whoa. Is that the doggy?
Yeah.
She
Running around
scared me.
upstairs.
Okay, good. So when you pick out a hat,
Yeah.
does it have to be something like this, or does it have to be something like this, or you don't really care?
Either one. It to me, it's all about the fit on my head and how the bill lays. If the bill folds right, holds its shape, does a good job, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. A couple things that I can't stand. I don't know, for whatever reason, if my cap's just a little bit tight, I
Yeah.
will get a headache.
Sure. That's
Does that happen to you?
most of us, yes.
Okay. All right. So that's normal.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was normal or not.
Normal. Ish.
Secondly, I was into the fitted hats, but apparently I just can't find my size, that perfect fit, and I always end up snipping the back like
I've done it.
the black band. Like I'll snip it just to leave a little bit of. I have one hat at home, and like 3 days ago, I threw away a whole box. A lot of them were old sweaty ass hats,
Yeah.
and things like that. But there was a lot that I wore a lot. But a couple of them I just threw away because I had ruined them.
Yeah.
But then I had them all in the trash can. I'm like, wait, what is this one Browns hat? It wasn't this one. It was a different one. It had bright orange on the back, and I looked at it, and I hadn't cut it. It was a fitted hat, and I put it on, and I'm like, wow, it actually fits. So I took it back inside. Glad I didn't throw that one away.
How'd that end up out here?
But I wanted to don a couple hats today.
Yeah.
I really like this one. I told Jake I saw another fellow wearing this hat at the opening day for the Indians.
Yeah.
And I wanted it, and I ordered it, and it was like 2 days it arrived.
Yeah,
I
which
didn't,
is
I didn't
awesome.
tell you that about fanatics.com.
Fanatics.
Hey, it wasn't the cheapest, wasn't the most expensive, but they arrived in 2 fucking days.
That's where I got all my stuff for my championship last year. My championships for my teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything from Fanatics. I will say something that's kind of funny. If you look at it in your hats, you got the uptight Guardians hat for the team that had to change their name because they're uptight sons of bitches, and then you got the lazy top of the Browns hat, kind of chilling, doing its thing, hoping for better
Browns
days.
are so lazy they don't even put a logo on their helmet. Although they have a ton of logos.
Yeah,
The helmet is the logo.
right. Speaking of that, are you any kind of excited for the draft this weekend with the Browns not picking until like the 8th round?
No, I
That's
tell
a
you what.
joke. There's only 7
Oh, yeah.
rounds.
No. So after the really good year when the Browns beat the Steelers in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and we didn't pick till like like the 16th pick or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Or maybe it was like the 26th pick. It was really late.
I think it was
Maybe
more like 26.
23 or 26, something like that. And everybody was like, I remember friends texting saying, this is so weird. We don't have a pick in like the first 5,
Right.
which is a great thing. But it's also kind of like, well, we don't get one of those super studs, but you do.
Yeah.
You do.
But you don't have a 1 or a 2.
Oh, really?
You don't pick till the 3rd.
Oh, well, shit. I might even not turn it on till what, Sunday?
Maybe. I don't know. The draft's going to be fun, though, this year. Your boy Stroud's going to go in the top couple picks.
I don't have the draft on here, and I did want to talk about it, so I'm glad. Let's just go ahead and knock it
We
out.
don't have to go
No,
crazy
no,
on it. I was
let's
just
knock it
curious
out.
as a Browns
So,
fan if you're excited for it.
It's Stroud and the guy from
There's Stroud, the guy from
Alabama.
yeah, Bryce Young.
So they're slated to go 1-2.
I mean, conventional wisdom, but everybody's so mum about it. I mean, they're the kid from Florida. Everybody likes to Richardson.
Yeah.
Big kid. I just never has played in a pro style offense. He only had 13 starts in college. He's a project, but he's probably the best athlete in the class. I don't know if you've seen Will Levis, the Kentucky quarterback. He's the 4th of the big 4. He's a monster.
Yeah, but
He's
that,
like
I
jacked.
watched all 4 of those guys, their combine, or not the pro
Like
day.
pro day stuff. Yeah.
And that dude sucked fucking dead donkey dicks. The kid from Kentucky couldn't hit. He was missing passes, and
That dude's got a cannon.
okay, you got to be able to still.
I'm not arguing with
kind of get it into proximity.
But you know who threw a bout like this coming out? Josh Allen. True
Okay.
story. That's why Josh Allen fell in the middle of the first round. Massive kid. I mean, he's 6'6" or whatever he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Giant arm.
Oh.
But his accuracy in college is like 54% or some shit. Terrible.
I'm not gonna knock the kid. I
Yeah.
root for Kentucky anyways. So
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Then there's
Okay, why?
There's a bunch of real nice offensive linemen in this draft. You know, Couple defensive guys that go high. It's a weird draft that there's going to be a running back that's going to go probably fairly high. Kid from Texas.
Okay.
Bijan Robinson. He's
Bijan.
They're saying the best running back prospect since Adrian Peterson. Yeah. It's legit because Adrian was the man,
Well,
especially coming out.
wait a minute. The best prospect.
The best running back prospect. So,
You mean to be
Since Peterson.
labeled great and then come out great?
is
that what it means?
They're saying like he has the highest like grade of any running back coming out in years.
I guess what my question is, there's been a lot of running backs drafted since Adrian Peterson.
There have been.
Like, we'll just say, we use Nick Chubb, for instance. So he wasn't highly touted.
So what they're saying overall, they're not saying he wasn't highly touted. What they're saying is when you add the scores up on everything, all your tangibles, all your stats, all your intangibles.
That's what I said.
That he's off the charts.
So he's
basically.
supposed to be great, and he
Yes.
should be great.
Right. It's a
not like
projection
a
thing.
Trent Richardson for the Browns, who came from Alabama.
Exactly,
And then
though.
in 3 years.
Exactly. That's why it's the draft, not the guarantee.
I remembered a running back's name that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
It sucked.
You know what's funny is like, so as it's got into draft week in the last month, because everything's about the NFL draft for that. He has, as the years have gone by here, he is starting to creep onto like the all-time bust lists.
Who?
Richardson.
Oh.
He had one mojo year and then done. It's crazy. People thought Cleveland was insane for trading him. Way to get away from that dumpster fire just in time.
Yeah.
It's crazy town.
I was really excited to get Trent Richardson, and then
Yeah. So, but the draft's gonna be fun this week. It would be a couple local guys going, so it should be interesting.
good.
I was just curious if you were gonna watch any of it. Chicago picks at 9, which I'm excited for.
I didn't realize the Browns didn't have a picks until the third round.
Well, they traded their 1 in the deal for Deshaun,
Right, I
and then they
figured.
traded their 2 for more. The kid that you just
Get
traded
it?
for from the Jets.
They traded 2 for more.
2-0.
So, I did want to ask about this because when it comes to X's and O's and needs and have not and not needs and what all this stuff, I mean, I pay attention to who our personnel is, but and if I had to guess what the Browns needed, I would say fill up the offensive line if you can, but primarily do some middle linebacker stuff. That's what I think.
Your linebackers are actually
Oh,
pretty
you were talking
legit.
about a nose tackle, right?
Defensive line is,
Okay.
is what you guys will go with. And there's some interesting guys in this draft, like defensive linemen, a couple like huge dudes that are super duper raw. So like it's going to be one of those kind of guys. Hopefully they hit on him.
There was some offensive lineman from Tennessee that looks like a badass.
He's a road grader, but he has had a lot of problems like pass blocking. To where like he's a guy that he's so big, like he definitely should be a tackle, but he's probably going to get moved to guard in the NFL just because he doesn't quite have the feet outside. But he's so huge, you're going to have a hard time keeping me out of a lineup someplace. Kid from Ohio State might be the first offensive lineman. You might have the first quarterback, first offensive lineman, and first wide receiver off the board.
Carolina has the first pick.
Yes.
I heard today came across they know who they're taking.
I'm sure they do. They've probably known for quite a while.
You think?
Yes. You don't give up what they give up to move up to that spot
So-
without that.
It's either going to be Stroud or
Or Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Almost guaranteed.
Who do you think it's going to be? In your heart of hearts.
Who do I think it's going to be?
Yes.
I think it'll be Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Yep.
And they're going to bust. You always take the Buckeye. Always take the Buckeye.
Well, at quarterback, that hasn't been the case until the very last one. Because if you go back for every Ohio State quarterback ever drafted before Fields, dude, it ain't good. It is. It might be the worst comprehensive list of quarterbacks for any of the major football powerhouses in college. I mean, none of them make it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of crazy. I mean, Barrett. I mean,
No, he was no good.
but he was incredible in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a different game.
I mean, so many guys. I mean, if you ever want to look up the list, it'll blow your mind, and you'll recognize every name on it.
But there's been 2 that have went to the Bears.
And both of them sucked. It's fucking Krenzel and Fields now.
Field sucks?
No.
You said
Fields is
both
awesome.
of them suck.
No. There was another Ohio State guy that was there for a while. Who was it?
At the Bears?
But he did. Was it Braxton Miller? Was a wide receiver there for a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
he wasn't the quarterback.
No. Lost his job. You know what I mean? Remember Terrell Pryor? Right?
Guy ruined that was the part. He was part of the ruining of the Buckeyes.
Yeah. You know the sad one's Haskins.
Tress will leave.
That one still gets me. Haskins, man. Can't believe that.
Haskins died.
Yep.
Don't ever go to Pittsburgh. That's what'll happen.
How do you feel about that, dude?
What?
Pittsburgh, man. Dude, this team is on the rise. You don't have to like them. I'm just saying. And in your division, I don't know. It's going to be tough this year. Your division's the son of a bitch. Especially if Lamar ends up coming back to Baltimore. Your division, you might have the best division in football. Maybe.
Probably.
It'd be close.
It would be Cleveland's luck. The time they have the time they should.
Yeah.
We'll say should have a good team.
Yeah.
The division is the best in the league.
Yeah.
I still think Pittsburgh will be Schittsburg.
You think?
Well, even if I don't.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true, that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah. The AFC is fucking loaded, though, man. The East and the West are both good, too. I mean, Kansas City, Herbert with the Chargers. I mean, the new look Raiders, that team just keeps rebuilding, and they're a problem every year for all those teams. I mean, the Raiders are never fun to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just loaded.
I mean, they like to go fast and run into people.
Right. Is that what it is? But no, I'm excited for the draft. It's the first step in the right direction. Then what's fun is the next big event after that is Hall of Fame game here locally, right?
Yeah.
So can't wait.
So
next,
who are the Bears taking first?
shit, dude, I have no idea. Who do I want them to take, or who are they going to take? They're either going to take an offensive
Give me
lineman.
who you want and who they're gonna.
I would love them to take the running back at 9. I don't think he.
The highly touted running back.
I don't think you can quite take a running back.
What's his name again?
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan. I hate those dogs.
Yeah, from Texas. Yeah, he's legit, man. Like he does it all. So
Who's their back right now? The Montgomery, or no? He's gone. He's been gone a while.
No, they have who's the young kid? They have Herbert, and he averaged like 6 yards a carry last year, but he's not a. You can't run this guy 30 times.
Yeah,
you know. And then they got it the kid from Carolina, not Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Foreman. So they're a team that.
Wait, Foreman, isn't he old? A different Foreman.
No, I mean he's not old. You're thinking that was Dante Foreman.
Okay.
Close, but not quite the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, who are they going to take? More than likely.
It's going to be one of the offensive linemen, either Peter Skornowski from from Northwestern,
Or the guy from Tennessee?
No, not the kid from Tennessee. I wouldn't mind if they took the kid from Ohio State, Paris.
Okay.
Super good feet, super good hands. He's a guy that you can put in there and just anchor him down at left tackle
It's an
and go.
Orlando Pace.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to be Orlando Pace coming out. That dude was a freak.
How about our boy Joe Thomas?
Dude, one of the greats.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is he's going to break a record when he goes into the Hall of Fame. He will break the record in the Hall of Fame for the lowest winning percentage of a player in the Hall of Fame. Yep. Now,
Doesn't surprise me. When you go 0-16, it's easy.
Any idea whose record he'll break?
Somebody from the Lions.
No.
I don't know.
OJ.
OJ.
Yeah. OJ's Bills, one of the worst teams of all times. But he was the cream puff on the turd. You know what I mean? Yep. And if it wasn't for a couple freak seasons that shouldn't have happened, Gale Sayers is right there with him.
Okay. So, and who do you wish they took? The running back? Is that who you're saying?
The running back is who I wish. There's what's the kid's name? I always want to call him Deron Payne, but Deron Payne is already in the league. It's a defensive lineman from Georgia. They've got 2 that are going to be gone super high, and then one kid, I really hope that he falls to them at 9. Giant defensive tackle. Okay. Like he's like an Ndamukong Suh type player.
So I'm hoping, with my dumbass, that they take we already have a speedy middle linebacker.
Yeah.
I want a killer.
Yeah.
A killer linebacker.
Yeah, you can find him.
That's who I want.
Yeah. I mean, those kids exist in this draft for sure.
So, but if they take the big burly nose guard or whatever, nose tackle, I'll be good with that too.
Can I give you my 2 cents about the Browns?
Sure.
What I think you guys need to do, I think that you need to draft a kid that might be a smidge undersized, but that is a motor and a beast coming off the edge. Clowney's gone, didn't do anything last year. You start double teaming Garrett, nobody's putting pressure on the quarterback unless you're going to start using Owasu to come off the edge and actually let him go. Because if you don't, you have to get a defensive end to get pressure. If not, your defense is going to be in the same boat next year.
Are there any guys like that available?
There's a whole bunch of those kind of guys in this draft.
Yeah!
But they're like taller kids that don't carry the same kind of weight. Because the guys that are the marquee guys coming out at the end are the guys that are 6'4", 6'5",
but
stacked already at 250, 260,
Right.
and looking like a Bosa.
Right, but like Von Miller, he's not 6'5", is he?
But that guy's a linebacker. That guy's not an end.
Oh.
I mean,
I thought he played end.
You're thinking of Ware that played with him, and Ware was a fucking animal. He played for Dallas and for Denver. Is that who you're thinking of?
No. So what is Von Miller? He plays in the middle?
Inside, outside linebacker. But he does. I mean, he might come off the edge and rush sometimes, but he's not a.
He's always getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean when they let him, but he's not a primary edge rusher.
Okay.
No, but I would love to see you guys get a guy like that. Just somebody
So
to wreak
it's
havoc.
down to defensive line.
Basically, defensive line. Your offense should need next to nothing. You're literally one of the 3 teams bringing your entire starting offensive line back, and it's loaded. You just signed Conklin to the big contract. Like your offensive line's locked and loaded, ready to go. You're running.
Well, barring injuries.
You might. Another thing you're probably going to see in this draft is Cleveland will pick up a running back somewhere 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Because I just saw another thing where Andrew Berry said, well, he might come back.
Who? Hunt?
Hunt.
I mean, everything that we've read, he's not. I would love it if he came back even on a veteran's minimum. I love the guy. He came here on a reduced paycheck. You know what I mean? Stayed when he didn't have to. He's a guy I would like to say stick around for a while. You know, he's not. But
It's good for the team. Let's put it that way.
But there's so much tread on his tires. He's taken. It's not like he's taken 250 touches a year since he's been here. He's been getting 100. Like. He's prime, ready to go. 27, but he's only had maybe 2 or 3 actual hard years in the league.
Only 27?
Yeah, dude.
Jeez,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
should lock his ass up because I'm going to tell you what.
I mean, but like a 2-year
As much
contract.
as I love the Chubb, I mean, you get a fucked up ankle for a couple weeks, you know, you need somebody to carry the ball.
And there's nobody proven behind him. Nobody. So, kind of scary. So, I expect you're going to take it back. And this is another one of those back. It's a weird, like, undersized class for a lot of these positions. There's a bunch of running backs that are ninjas coming out. Ninjas. Now, if you guys got so lucky this guy fell to you in the 3rd round, name to keep an eye on is Charbonnet. Dude is a running back from UCLA. He's like 6 foot, 230. Beast. Caught like 60-something balls last year. Absolute stud. 20-something touchdowns. But like he runs hard, but runs smart. You'd like him.
Okay.
Cool. Draft time. What's up?
Hold on a second here.
Oh, no. Are we getting worried?
No.
Okay.
Recording channels. No, I think we're doing good. It just seems like for some reason we're not picking up like we were.
I don't know. Feels like we're doing okay. We just got to speak into the mic.
Well, I can always bump this shit up.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you.
I just hope it's not a tin can like when
the girl was here that one time.
Yeah.
The sister-in-law back then.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I had something on my head about football. Oh, finally, the Jets and the Green Bay made the deal.
I am down with that, dude.
I've punched the high five.
Don't do that. I don't know if you've seen his recent Bud Light sponsorship, but it's one of my favorite things I've seen all week. What the fuck, dude?
So, what do you think? It finally happened. And, of course, it had to happen because Green Bay was on the hook for a bunch of millions.
I love it. Get him the fuck out of town, finally. One less thing to have to worry about.
Yeah.
And now he's the 3rd best quarterback in his division. Love that for him. So,
let's see. He went to the Jets. Who's in their division?
Buffalo.
Oh, boy.
Miami. And New England.
Miami was great until everybody got hurt.
Right. But he's back and he's healthy. That's another thing that's kind of cool is Tua and Mahomes actually both have brand new customized helmets that the NFL collaborated to make that are like the first ones coming out that are supposed to be structurally actually made to have like a serious reduction in the chances of getting a concussion. So
next time Mama Patrick or Mama Pat, when the Browns knock him out, it won't be our fault again. It'll be the faulty helmet.
whatever.
Jesus. They shouldn't be doing that.
You couldn't beat Chad fucking Henne. Ugh.
I know.
That team will always have just a little bit of what if to it because of that. You know, You exceeded the expectations, you made the playoffs. You exceeded the expectations, you beat the Steelers. You're hanging in the game the whole way with Kansas City. You knock Mahomes out.
Hold on.
The whole world is in your hand, and you just couldn't stop Chad Henne.
The Browns did not beat the Steelers. The Steelers fucking beat themselves.
You can say what you want to. They still took it from them, and they scored the points.
Yeah. I think the Browns were up 28-0 that game.
That's fine.
And I think the final was like 34-28. It was like, had they not fucked up the first half, the Browns would not have won that game. Now,
but the Browns played cover two shell half the game.
I bleed brown and orange, but that's the truth. The very first play of the game,
Just saying,
hiked over his head. Garrett scores a touchdown.
That's awesome.
It was great. I peed my pants and went and jerked off. But
Whoa, watching Andy Griffith, huh?
no, that was exciting. Okay, NFL out.
Out.
I'm excited, but now I'm less excited because I didn't know I'm not going to be able to watch the Browns draft anybody.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Next.
Most hated, updated.
Okay.
The guys you want to punch in the face.
Fuck.
Oh.
From where?
From sports,
Yeah.
let's start. MLB. If you had to pick one or two guys that you just fucking want to, God damn it, that fucking guy.
Our number one's going to be the same. It's almost universal at this point, right? Altuve.
No.
Oh, dude, fuck Altuve.
Excuse me, by the way.
That dude's a chode, man.
Why?
He's the biggest cheatingest cheat ever. Fucking shit talker. Fucking
There
asshole,
was
man.
25 on the roster.
Yeah, he's the fucking ringleader. You and I both know it. Altuve's a fucking douche.
I'll one up you.
Okay.
His fucking coach, AJ fucking Hinch, the douchiest of looking douchebags that ever walked to the mound to change a pitcher
I thought we were
and
talking
walked
players.
back. Didn't no MLB.
Yeah, he's a cocksucker. I'm not giving that guy
Okay,
any.
I like the Astros though. Bregman, man, I think I could
Oh.
take that motherfucker. He's about my height.
That dude's a professional athlete though. And he's 20 years younger than you.
I don't care.
I'm just, hey, as your buddy, I'm just telling you not to do
Give me
it.
2 months to prepare, and I'm taking him down. All right, not in my current state. Jeez, Jake. We got to put shit on. We
Got
got
it.
to get out there for pay per view.
Got it. Pay-per-view. I'm down. I'm so down with pay-per-view. Is there anybody else in baseball you really hate that you want to punch in the face?
I got Bregman and AJ Hinch wrote down.
Bregman and AJ Hinch. That was pretty good. I mean,
It's funny that we're
Altuve-
just sticking with the Astros, but
Yeah,
the whole team could use a big bitch slap.
But I don't like. I will say this: they have a couple pitchers on their team that I like, that I don't really hate. I don't feel like those guys really have much to do with
Wait
it.
a second, Garrett Cole, was he on that team?
On what team?
The 17 team.
I don't think so. No, he wasn't. He doesn't have a championship ring.
Are you sure?
I'm 90% sure. I can't guarantee it sitting here, but I
I
don't think he
might
was.
have been on that team.
I don't know. I'll have to look and see now.
Fuck that guy. I'm gonna punch him.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. The other guy for me is fucking Mookie Betts.
What?
Fuck that douche nozzle.
He's my fantasy favorite.
Whatever. Because he's your guy. I'm not saying he's not good. I didn't say anything about him being good.
I passed
We have to make sure we put that
Trout
up
up for him. I need to go back and look at those numbers.
Why would you ever punch Trout?
Passed.
You
on
wouldn't.
Trout.
Because Trout is. He's a throwback. The guy's the fucking man.
I like Trout, but when it was either, I don't know why I might have had the number one pick on the redraft.
You might have.
And I took Betts.
All I'm saying, Betts would be my number one guy. Kershaw will be right behind him.
Wait, Betts would be your number one guy?
He'd be number two. I'm
Then
sorry.
why are
He'd
you
be the
want to
other guy.
punch him?
No, that would punch in the face.
Why?
Betts, he's a fucking douche, man. Shit talking ass motherfucker.
I remember.
I can't fucking stand him.
when I
Fucking
took-
ship
when
jumper
I-
for the fucking money. Fuck that guy.
When I had Betts, and I'm like, have you seen this guy? You're like, who is he?
At first, yeah. But you know what? That was actually the moment where I knew that I had to start doing my research on these young kids before they turned into
And
something.
now you have them all.
Well, I have some of them because I do a little bit of homework now.
Even the one guy was out for 80 games.
Hey,
He's going to be back.
he's
for
back. He's
80.
back. He's back and ripping.
All right, let's go NFL.
I mean, this is the most open and shut case of all time. It's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Yeah, I know for you.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers. For you, it used to be Ben. Ben's out of the game now.
I know. That's who I have wrote down. Is Roethlisberger.
I knew that one.
But I can't think of it. I mean, unless you maybe started talking to me, I really can't think of a guy right now employed by the NFL that I'd want to go fucking sock right in the mouth.
Really? None, huh?
But it's still Aaron Rodgers, huh? Even though he just left
I don't give a fuck.
the disciples of the Bay.
Maybe by the end of this season, there'll be somebody new in Green Bay that I can't stand. But no, this has been a 30-year. It was 15 years of Favre and 15 years of Rodgers. Easily my number one and number two most hated athletes of all time.
Just because they were good and kicked the Bears' ass.
The difference is that Rodgers was fucking awesome. He just actually really struggled in huge games. Brett Favre is the most overrated player to ever play in the NFL.
No,
the only
he might
guy.
be the number one quarterback of all time.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. You know it, and I know it. The whole world knows it. But you know what the great part was? The great part was him getting in trouble with all that shit last year, all that fucking embezzling money and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that shit. Real comfortable jeans, huh? You're fucking all-American boy. Fuck you, Brett Favre.
Yeah, they took those commercials away real quick.
Right. Yeah, where's your baseball, motherfucker?
Or what was that other thing? He was doing the copper thing,
Whatever, dude.
copper sleeves.
I don't even care.
Brett Favre.
You know what my all-time favorite game is? My all-time favorite NFL game. What is it?
It's his last game.
No.
No.
Nope.
It's one where he threw like 5 interceptions.
Nope. It was the last game that he played in Minnesota in the NFC Championship game against the Saints, and it was the Bounty Gate game. That dude getting the shit kicked out of him for 3 quarters, dirty hit after dirty hit, scraping him up, dragging him off. He comes back out, bam, fucking plowed again. I was literally at one point in the fourth quarter in tears watching the game, laughing my ass off so hard. That's how much I don't fucking like this guy. It was the greatest shit ever.
All right.
Next sport. This is fun.
You know who I'd like to maybe punch in the face that's probably still in the NFL, not a player?
Joe Hayden.
No.
Okay.
Ozzie fucking Newsome.
Oh, really? I mean, because
It just seems like a turn fucking coat.
because he followed.
He just went with that asshole Modell.
I mean,
you're going to go where the money is.
Modell believed in him and helped him achieve a Hall of Fame career.
One of the greatest Browns of all time, probably on the top 20 list easily. If
Probably
not the top,
higher than that.
maybe even the top 10. I'm just throwing numbers out.
Yeah.
But probably one of the most likable guys I can imagine. Just seems like a really nice fella. But
He's amazing.
I just never could get over it. It just seemed like, how could you do that to this? It seemed like a city thing. Like, you're just going to leave and piss me off.
I'll say it this way. And I felt like that until the 3rd year he was in Baltimore. And my dad called me and he said, hey, they're having a Browns backers thing and they got Ozzie Newsome to come. I'm like, really? So he got up there and the first thing he said, it was so cool. He was like, it don't matter what color I put on. It matters what color I bleed. And that's always going to be orange. And then he stood there and talked for like 45 minutes. And then the part that I thought was the absolute coolest thing I've seen probably ever out of a professional athlete, he stayed and signed autographs. I'm not bullshitting, dude, like 2.5 hours. And he told
he better have.
And he told everybody, he's like, get in line as many times as you want to. I'll sit here till I got to leave to catch my plane if I have to. And I got 4 autographs from him. I kept getting back in line. I mean, I don't know, 20, something like that. I was blown away, man. Super cool guy. Sat there and bullshitted
I
with
can
people.
imagine. He seems like a super cool guy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that he followed the job more than anything else.
I'm sure he did, but
Yeah.
I don't know. As a diehard fan, our team was stripped from us, and you just went with them.
I'm just saying.
You
Like,
couldn't have found another job. The new Browns would have hired your ass.
yeah. Well, didn't you have a kicker that was on the team for fucking ever after they left? Dawson. Was it Dawson that was there for?
Dawson he never left. He stayed with us.
Well, then who was the kicker that went? Because you had a kicker that went with Baltimore, and he was there for like 10 years.
Matt Barr?
No, it wasn't Barr, because then they drafted Tucker.
I don't remember.
Shoot.
Dawson retired at Brown, I'm pretty sure. No, I think he went somewhere.
Is he actually retired?
Dawson, I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't he kicking for San Francisco just last year?
I don't think so.
I think he's on year 20 or 21, dude.
Well, maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
Good for him. I mean, I don't know why the Browns ever got rid of him.
Dude, that guy is one of the greatest kickers of all time.
I think he might be the leading points. He's
not points, but accuracy is what he was for a while.
No, he was points.
I'd have to look.
Because of the kicks. At some point, you score more than everybody.
Right. Yeah. You know who the only position player in the top 10 is? It's easy.
The only position player in the top 10.
Scoring all time. Yeah. Jerry Rice.
What do you mean only position player?
So if you take the points scored, right? You can't use quarterback points because passing touchdowns don't count for that. So it's basically kickers and position players.
Right.
The only position player in the top 10 is Jerry Rice.
Who the hell else is in the top 10?
A bunch of kickers, dude.
Kickers.
Nick Lowry.
Well, they're position players.
Morton. No, they're not. They're special teamers.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah. Man, making me fire from the hip.
Here we go. All right, NBA. I know you'd like to punch the whole league, but
I mean, this is, again, we probably are number one, right? Draymond?
there's only one number one.
I mean, and the thing about it is,
he
like,
just stomped somebody the other day.
so I'm saying he keeps continuing to not make himself
Although
likable.
the stomp looked a little light.
Yes.
It looked like he kind of did a WWE stomp, but
I don't know. It still wasn't good.
no, bad. And then 2 days later, somebody gets hit in the nuts, and then somebody hits LeBron in the nuts. two different nut shots.
Yeah.
The next day, like we'll take the heat off Draymond.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
You know, the only other guy I would put on that list would be Marcus Smart up for Boston. That dude, he's that fucking dickhead that's always clapping in people's faces and shit, and then he is the floppingest ass bitch since Varejao. Fucking drives me insane to watch him. Talks massive shit constantly, which I don't give a fuck. That's part of sports, especially at a level like that. But it's when you're going to act like that, like you're some kind of a badass, and that dude flops fucking constantly.
You just don't like his green hair.
I don't give a shit about the green hair either. Again, Rodman was the fucking man.
Yeah.
But if a guy like that pulled that shit on Rodman, it would take about 1 fucking second for Rodman to fucking clip that guy in the middle of a game.
True.
Like, that's where guys like that, to me, like, people are like, oh, the game is harder now than it was then. No, it wasn't, because there's no self-policing that goes on for that kind of shit anymore. Do you remember when fucking Divac pulled that shit on Shaq, when Shaq played for the Magic before he went to the Lakers, and he fucking plowed him the fuck over on the next play and threw the ball down and walked back the other end of the court? Legendary.
Yeah. I do have a
About
question.
you.
I do. Oh, punch in the face?
Yeah.
Draymond, 100%.
That's it?
Oh, Curry right after him.
Oh, shit.
Come here, line up. Pow, pow. Chew on your fucking mouthpiece a little bit more.
Yeah.
NBA question for you. All these guys are gigantic for the most part. There's a few 6-footers.
Yeah.
But why is it that the big gangly white dudes are the ugliest motherfuckers around and the black dudes just look pretty much
Cool.
normal?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because even Dirk was a little bit like, a little bit frank.
Wow.
But now the other guy, the guy that took Dirk's place,
He's legit, Luca.
he does not look like a
No.
big gangly weird guy.
He's just a monster.
But all the other dudes, I'm watching ESPN just like looking at these big ass white dudes, and I'm like, why do they look like they're fucking some I don't know.
you know who Jokic is?
Jokic.
He's reigning MVP. He just averaged a triple-double for the season. Is going to win MVP again from Denver. Have you seen this guy?
I think so.
But he's like Lithuanian or some shit. Dude, same. Big gangly beard. Like, looks like he just needs fatigues to go fight in a war someplace. Like, he's fucking terrifying looking, and he's so fucking big.
I don't know why. It's just...
He's a weird athlete, though, if you watch him. Because he don't look like he's super quick. He's not, like, bulging with, like, giant muscles. Man, that guy's body positioning and strength are off the fucking charts. It's kind of crazy guy to watch.
All right, let's keep moving here.
Yeah.
ESPN.
About it. Hey.
Who would you like to punch in the face?
Oh, shit.
I mean, everybody's lining up for Stephen A. Smith.
Not me, dude. I like Stephen A. I don't
fuck
give a
that
shit what
guy.
anybody says.
Fuck that guy.
I've always liked Stephen A. I don't know, man. It's ESPN. Is there anybody that's a staple of ESPN even left anymore?
We can go past and present.
I mean, it passed to Keith Olbermann. No fucking question. I would fight Keith Olbermann, wait till he heals up, and then fight him again. I couldn't stand listening to him. I couldn't stand watching him, and he was such a fucking smart-ass piece of shit
I
motherfucker.
don't know if I know who Oberman was.
Dude, Keith Olbermann, and now he's away from sports, he's even more of a fucking tool
is he
bag.
the one with the talk show?
I'm sure, the Keith Olbermann show or whatever.
Yeah.
And I never liked Dan Patrick. Everybody thought Dan Patrick was so fucking
No,
great.
Dan Patrick's who I'm
He was
thinking.
annoying.
I'm thinking of Dan Patrick.
Olbermann had like slick back hair and like the circular glasses.
Okay, so that's
Kind of a
not-
bigger dude. I don't know.
I'm sure I would know him.
He was a fucking Twatsky.
I recognize
all
the
way.
name, but
Yeah.
I can't put a face
Yep.
for whatever reason.
Not my guy.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, he's going down.
Who else you taking?
That's it. I don't really care.
No? I mean, because a lot of those guys were classic.
Might be fun
know?
to punch the dude that does the Masters in, because it seems like he's sold out.
Who, Nance?
No, the guy that does the Masters, and he's got the headphone. His little logo is his glasses and the headphone. He's all bald.
Oh, Van Pelt?
Yeah,
I don't know, because he's the main sports center guy at midnight now.
I know, but he just seems like such a cockwad.
No, I like him. He actually does a really good job, I think, most of the time. I watch him a lot because
Well, he has to have his sidekick that just does. Yeah, that's funny.
he doesn't have a sidekick. What are you talking about?
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. Not on the Scott Van Pelt show, which is his sports center shot.
He always has.
I think we're talking about the wrong guy. He doesn't have a sidekick.
Well, he did for years. Maybe he got rid of him
Yeah,
recently.
He doesn't have one. He's just all by himself. And like, cause he always comes on at midnight, and like a lot of times there's still sporting events going on, so like they'll break in and talk about it, or like when guys come to the podium, like he's always like his
Yeah.
show where they break in,
Yeah.
talk, and then they come back and talk some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, That's an interesting one. Van Pelt, interesting.
I don't hate Van Pelt. I liked him for years when he was a regular caster, but
And
then
had
he
hair?
got his own little corner, and I think and then all of a sudden he inherited the Masters and shit. And I'm just saying, like these golf procedures. I'm like, what the fuck? It's weird.
I don't know. You remember with hair? He looked like Chandler Bing.
I don't remember him with hair.
Oh yeah, he had hair when he was actually like a Sports Center anchor. He had hair back then. Like he looked like he could be Chandler Bing's brother
Who's Chandler Bing?
from Friends.
Okay.
Chandler.
Okay. All right. Politics. There's only one guy we'd like to punch from politics.
No, that list is fucking 8 miles long at this point. But
Who's the number one guy you like to just fucking lay out?
in all honesty, it's not who you think.
Well, I'm sure.
It's the fucking cockbag from Ukraine, Zelensky.
The president of Ukraine?
Fuck that motherfucker. Fucking piece of shit. The fucking balls on that fucking guy. Fucking won't conform to the fucking real fucking human rights laws, so they can't fucking join NATO, and you're gonna have the balls to fucking come over here and ask us for all this fucking money? Fuck you, man. Fuck you, and fuck your fucking problems. You want to get your shit together? You want our fucking help? You want to be our fucking friend? Get your shit together. Quit fucking treating people like shit. It's another, you know what fucking kills me about this? The same motherfuckers that are going fucking boycotting American fucking companies and shit, the fucking Rainbow Warrior fucking crowd that fucking supports this bullshit, you know how far they'd fucking get in Ukraine? Fucking nowhere. Fucking nowhere. You can't, they would fucking round them up over there. They fucking do. It's a fucking joke. Fuck that motherfucker. And anybody that supports it. And the other fucked up part is I'm not foreseeing a whole bunch of fucking innocent people die. That's what I'm fucking saying. But I'm a person that believes if you're asking somebody for fucking help, there's times that you got to fucking get in line. You're like, you want our fucking help? This is what you got to do. You know, if you ask me to help on a fucking Saturday, I can help you, but not till noon. Guess what? We're fucking doing it at noon or I'm not helping you. You know what I'm saying?
Bada bing.
It's not that fucking hard. Anyway, so yeah, I know what you're going to say, but
No, it'd just be funny to knock out an 80-year-old.
fuck, dude. I mean, the good news is he's running again.
He is?
He announced it this week. I mean, him and Harris, and he's keeping Harris. Round 2.
I don't think he knows any better.
I mean, it's the best chance that we have for them to lose, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had that as my last topic, but let's just roll right into it. The Ukrainian leak.
Yeah.
So-
What do you want to talk about?
So you and I talked off air
Yeah.
about this, and I went online trying to find shit about it, and all they say is the source unconfirmed. But you were telling me it was
There's fucking pictures, man.
okay.
There's pictures and there's all kinds of
Maybe
fucking
I wasn't looking
documentation.
in the right place, but
There's a document that's actually out there that shows how many troops from the different countries are officially
Okay.
on the ground there.
but I'm talking about the source.
What about him?
You seemed to like you knew who it was.
He's a 21-year-old kid.
Right, but everything that I looked up, they said they're trying to find the source. Maybe it was old news. I don't know.
You were reading old news because they literally fucking showed up to his house and arrested him. We can't find a fucking person that was on Epstein's fucking flight log list, but you can find a fucking kid that's 21 years old that fucking quick that's putting shit online. Fuck you.
It's priorities, Jake.
Whatever. It's fucking stupid is what it is. And the thing about it is, like we talked about, the fucking kid, it looks like he was kind of fucking showing off. He wasn't trying to do the right thing for the Republic. Do not fucking call it a democracy. I will lose my fucking mind. It's not a fucking democracy.
Who said that?
I'm fucking saying that. It ain't a fucking democracy. They say it all the time. Our democracy's at stake. Our democracy's at stake. Motherfucker, this ain't a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. There's a huge fucking difference. In a democracy, every fucking thing goes to every fucking person and every vote is fucking majority. That's a democracy. You know how many democracies have made it? Fucking zero, ever in the history of time. Constitutional republic. You got people you elect, they're part of a fucking group, that group makes fucking decisions. You don't like their decisions, you put another person in the group.
I'm dizzy already.
It's fucking annoying as fuck. Anyway, so they're going after this kid and all they're doing is trying to crucify the kid for leaking it.
Right. You had also mentioned because of the truths that were leaked, Biden should be impeached
Immediately.
That.
Fucking immediately.
Why the fuck can't we get that to happen?
I don't know. I honestly don't understand the hesitation. This is a clear violation of the Constitution. You cannot have American troops on the ground in an active war in another country that Congress has not given authorization to do. What you're going to tell you, what you're going to read from all this bullshit, from every news outlet that wants to fucking form the narrative, they're going to tell you that the servicemen that are over there right now are over there to basically keep an eye on the stockpile, keep an eye on the controls of what we have. And they're doing that because that's what the Republicans fucking want. Bullshit. Look at the pictures that fucking come out. Them boys are hard and ready for war. They ain't keeping track of fucking peanuts over there. But they're trying to say, oh, after the way things went over when we pulled out of Afghanistan, like, you can't be mad at us now. We're trying to get oversight. Yeah, you're not doing fucking oversight. You're sending a band of fucking trained-ass motherfucking killers that's their entire job in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Russia's already fucking said that they're not sure what yet, but they're going to end up fucking retaliating. It's fucking ignorant. You know the only country that has more fuckers than we do? The fucking dickheads north of us. Fucking Trudeau sending motherfuckers over there. He don't have authorization for parliament, but he took executive fucking power. So he can basically do whatever the fuck he wants to right now.
Amen.
Anyway. Sorry to go off about it.
Do you think that's what Biden would say? I took executive power?
No, their party line and they're fucking staying with it is that they're over there auditing basically how shit's being used.
Okay.
All the money and equipment that we're sending over there, that's what they're doing. You're going to tell me that 14 people are monitoring the billions of dollars that we've given them?
No.
Right. And that's what we know. How many countries in the entire world right now have U.S. servicemen in them? Servicemen and women.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
A ton, a bunch.
Good luck finding that answer.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole thing's fucked.
Okay. All right.
You're like, all right, that's it.
Let's get out of this topic. I got something kind of fun.
Do it.
But I'm thinking that you're going to know a couple of these, and you're going to have a reason, or maybe not.
Okay.
We're about to find out.
All right.
So, have you ever found a restaurant or well, what is it when you grace a restaurant?
When you're like a patron?
Well, anyways, I can't think of the word. You find there's a new something comes out and you're like, I'm gonna try that. That looks really good.
Yeah.
And you go there and it's like blows your mind. You're like, this is fabulous.
Yeah.
I love this. All this stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
And then you frequent.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to find.
Okay.
You frequent the place, every couple weeks, whatever. You're in love with it, and then maybe you don't go as often, and then all of a sudden, at some point, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is, shit's fucking different.
Oh yeah.
It's not like it was initially. Did they just come out with a bang to get everybody hooked, and then all of a sudden, the ingredients aren't as top notch, and maybe the staff that was there is all gone. Maybe they're opening an opening staff, and they do everything fucking pristine, and then all of a sudden, I don't go there anymore because it's like, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is a thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think so. Yes, 100% this happened.
What my first experience that like the light bulb went off was over at BOGO Pizza in Barberton.
Okay.
It's up at Johnson's Corners. It was brand new. We tried it out. It was like it's called like it's like a create your own pizza, but it's like top notch pizza. You pay like $25 per pizza. Specialty pizzas, they're all specialty.
Yeah.
And but it was outstanding. There was buffalo chicken pizzas. There was everything. It was like, God, everything we got was just great.
Yeah.
Went back 6 months later. We had gone since then.
Yeah.
A handful of times, but at some point it was like, God, this is not the same.
Sure.
And we quit going.
Yeah. We used to eat a lot. I mean, if you're in the realm of pizza, we used to eat a lot of East of Chicago. And the last couple times, I mean, it's been years, to where it's probably, I don't know, a year ago, the last time that I got it. But it was just like, what is this mess? Like, This is not great,
Yeah.
And which makes me sad because it was one of my favorite pizzas growing up.
I got another one. So, Arby's.
Really?
We have the meats. Now, Arby's seems like they're more of a cut above these days. They'd have better commercials. Now, I don't know if you can base anything off the commercials,
Sure.
but I think you kind of can because it just seemed like they got their shit together all of a sudden in the last 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And my son likes the chicken sliders. They're a very small sandwich. They're perfect for just a couple, a quick bite. They used to come with the split top buns, and they were really, and these buns were, 3.5, 4 inches long, and a decent piece of chicken. Now, and they used to come in in the cup, like the
Like a little slider box.
Yeah, or it would
It looked like a French fry
like
thing.
a French fry container. Now, he gets them and he's about done. Because now they come on 2 Hawaiian buns, tiny ass motherfucker, tiny Hawaiian buns, and we figured it out. And the chicken's a little bit smaller, and they wrap them now. And at first he was like, "Why are they wrapping these?" But now we figured it out. They're smaller, so now they would look like a little fucking dime in that French
shit,
fry
right?
box.
You'd be able to see it.
You'd be like, "Oh," and you would realize it's smaller.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Those things are like $1.39.
I agree. It's so true.
Why
too.
do you fuck that up? I mean, they must have, or they're losing their ass on the sliders.
Yeah.
They must be.
I think so. I mean, like, I haven't been in a long time again now, but it's like, I watched Applebee's do that. Used to go to Applebee's, it was good, have a good time, you know what I mean? It got to the point where the end was like, I'm still hungry after eating. Like, this is like nothing. Like, why is the chicken breast 4 ounces?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird how that happens.
And so I'm thinking, I'm talking with my son about this. I'm thinking, I mean, this might be a formula for some companies.
Sure.
Like, hey, let's go in. We're going to put everything, 110% into everything. And then we'll slowly withdraw and see how long it sustains.
Sure.
It's just a horrible business model.
I don't disagree with you.
It is definitely anti-American. I mean, the American way was you build a good product and you put it out there for the general public.
Yeah.
I mean, that is probably a laughingstock anymore.
Sure.
No one does that, but I mean, very few companies or mom and pop shops that still exist
Yeah.
do that, but that used to always be the way, right?
Sure.
If you want something to sustain, you have a great product.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. Why do you have, because we know they can have a great product if they want to.
Sure.
But
They can.
my last example, now this may have been because of a sale of the company,
Yeah.
but Funky Truckeria in Norton,
Yeah.
they have specialty tacos.
So good.
It's great. And like I said, I think this might have been because they sold the company, but they had the chorizo tacos.
Mm-hmm.
The way they made them and the things that were on them aren't the same.
Yeah. That sucks.
They used to have, like, I don't know if those dried onions and they're not that different, but they're a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I still get them and they're still pretty good. I'm not going to really super complain.
Yeah.
But they're not the same.
Nope.
And it, like I said, it could be I think they had a change of management, but
Do you remember back in the early 2000s when Subway changed their steak for a little while? Because like they've always had like the shaved looking stuff, right? You ever get the steak and cheese at?
no, I don't.
Oh, really?
I probably should because everything
Oh.
runs right through me at Subway.
Dude, amazing. Like I think it's one of the all-time best, what I kind of call like fast foodish sandwiches. So fucking
So it's a
good.
steak sandwich?
Yeah, just the classic steak and cheese, man.
How does it hold up to a Chipotle steak bowl?
I
I know it's two different animals.
Let's say it's way like if you want like
I'm talking about the meat part.
yeah, if you want a cheesesteak, so like that is like chopped up pieces of sirloin. What you're talking
Right.
about, this is like the shaved meat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they actually changed it to where it was more like that. Like back in the early 2000s, people fucking lost their minds. So basically, when the contract ran out with the company they switched to, they had to switch back. Some people just still never came back, though. It's crazy.
It's funny, though, how some things will change a company.
Yeah.
'Cause we just talking about Chipotle.
Yeah.
And talking about the Funky Truckeria.
Yeah.
They never had burrito bowls and shit like that, but now they offer them because they had to keep up with the fucking Chipotle that opened right fucking 300 feet from them.
Yep.
It's funny.
It
Funny,
is
eh?
Funny, eh?
But Chipotle ain't got no truck.
Nope.
Funky Truckeria does.
Nope. I do like Chipotle, though. Chipotle is always good. It's one of the
It's
few
good,
places
but man, we're talking
it's
about
getting expensive.
yeah, that is one. Second is, and we should probably talk about this on some show. Maybe we have, but portion size is ridiculous. Chipotle is too much sometimes. It's a lot.
But you take it.
I eat it all gone every single time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, it used to be like the foot-long sub. It's like, man, if you eat a foot-long sub and a bag of chips and a fucking whole pop, you're like,
You're fucking done.
why the fuck did I do that?
Right.
At least for a good hour.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I always feel good after Chipotle. I'm that weirdo, but I don't get rice.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah. I love it. No rice, no beans. Meat, vegetables, toppings.
I should try it. You know what I had to quit doing? and I have to. And this is the middle-aged man speaking, not the 18-year-old speaking. I had to, like, when I get a Chipotle, I get the rice, I get the steak. I usually get double steak.
Yeah.
It's way too much to eat, but I eat it anyways. But I get 2 things of salsa. I get the regular salsa and I get that red hot salsa. And once again, it can end up going right through me a little bit because of the spice.
Sure.
But I love it so much, but I just quit doing that the last couple times I went. Such an enjoyable next day.
So my advice, like I do corn, tomato, sour cream, cheese, and then I have them put after they do that, then I have them put one thin red line.
So you do a tiny strip.
I do, and it is excellent.
Okay. See, that's why I keep you around.
Okay. And I always have. And to me, like, it increases the flavor so much.
That shit is hot.
It is. And if I've done like I did it like that like 5 or 6 times, and then all of a sudden I was like, what if I get a whole spoonful of it? And I was like, fuck this. Because like, it just overrides everything. Dude, that one little strip in there, you still get the little mouth tingly, but it kind of enhances the flavor of everything. You can still taste the meat. Like, it's fucking great.
And everything else absorbs it enough so that way you don't have the fucking sliders the next day.
That's right.
Perfect.
Boom. I got you.
So that's it. And do you have anything else on great starts but bad finishes?
Great starts and bad finishes. What was the premise of this?
The restaurant type thing. I mean, it could be anything, really.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, they're done now. The Blue Tip Barbecue, man. First couple times I went in their place was amazing.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was where Tony's Body Shop used to be. And the food was so good, the staff was great, and then like they got on this thing where they wanted to have live shows Fridays and Saturday nights, and then it was to the point where you couldn't get in there, and if you could, you had to pay a cover charge to have dinner there on a Friday or Saturday night. So what they ended up having happen, people show up at 6 o'clock, fucking eat their one meal, drink a couple beers, and fucking camp out all night, costing themselves all kinds of money and all kinds of credibility with the community. You know, then they tried to rebrand it for 5 minutes and called it the Wadsworth Pub. Not the Blue Tip Pub, I think is what they switched it to, actually. And the menu wasn't great. They fired most of their staff. It was like a month, and now the building's up for sale. Closed.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They had it going.
Oh, dude, at the beginning, it was rocking the Casbah, man.
But you made a great point. People were trying to, like, beat the system.
Yeah.
End up staying in there and not buying anything for the last 4 hours they were in there.
Right. Like, one of the things that I think is pretty cool is there's a bunch of different restaurants now. Like, you know how like going out for pay-per-view used to be a big thing? Now,
What do you mean going out for pay-per-view?
you never gone out for pay-per-view? Like,
Never.
you've never gone to B-dubs for a UFC fight?
No.
Oh, what? Dude, it's some of the most fun ever.
How do you go out for pay-per-view? Don't they already have the fight?
So they get the fight, you go in there and get a table, drink beer, and eat fucking chicken wings with your friends and have a fucking blast.
Yeah, like a normal sporting event.
It's fucking awesome. I know it sounds funny, but dude, fight night at B-dubs is incredible. Because like you'll get like groups of people that are rooting for different people, and like it's on. Like, dude, it's so much fun. You never done it? But
I'm not looking at you like I'm confused. I'm looking at you like, if that's a thing, why do people buy the pay-per-views at home? Is what I'm thinking. That's what goes through my head real fast.
Well, because some people don't want to go out till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch the end of the
because
the main
it's usually
card.
the late. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
because they're always
All
late.
right.
But one of the things that I don't know if B-dubs is one of them, but I know that there's a lot of places that get the fights that what they've started doing is if you cash out after 10 o'clock, you have a minimum bill. So that you can't just walk in there at 8, squat until 1 o'clock in the morning and spend $14 to watch the fights.
Oh, because people are doing that.
And people have for years. We used to bitch. Because like we would go to B-dubs because back in the day they didn't have the prelims on. So the main card started at 10 and you got those 5 or 6 fights for the night and that was it. We would go out there literally 7 o'clock, the first group of us. And we would get one table in the corner. There'd end up being about 10 or 12 of us. Dude, you know how many $200 bills I walked out of there with? A bunch. You know? I mean, that's why they never cared. But there would be other tables where dudes showed up same time we didn't order shit the rest of the night. I've always thought that was so shitty. You know?
It is. I don't get that.
No. I mean, I get it. B-dub is a giant corporation and they can handle it, but whatever.
Right. All right. We're getting close to the end here.
Are we?
It says, yeah, we're at 1 hour almost.
Nice.
But let's just go a little bit longer.
Okay.
I got a question for you. And
Sure.
maybe you can straighten some things out.
Okay.
For quite a while, I had some problems across the street with
Okay.
those neighbors.
Yeah.
We are in wonderful land now.
Yeah.
The duplex across the street, amongst all the regular houses, finally has some young ladies. It's the owner who lives right beside us. It's his granddaughters. There's the older one with her boyfriend live on the one side.
Okay.
And 3 sisters live on the other side.
Nice.
They're all within 20 to 22, and they have their parties, but it ain't like fucking dope dealing fiends. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Our neighborhood just seems like it's just, and they fixed our fucking road. It's like they actually repaved it. We're like, oh my God, this is the greatest place in the world. But the owner of that duplex, he's 85 or 84.
Yeah.
His name is Dale. He has an issue with this other guy across this cut road. Welcome to the house of Susie Wong.
That was awesome.
He has a problem with the guy behind him.
Okay.
Which we have this cut road. It's called Tallwood, and it goes way up, but it like intersects a bunch of smaller or main roads. And this guy has it's not a big house, but he runs a business out of it.
Okay.
And it's gotten to the point where this business is doing pretty well.
Okay.
Now, if it was a computer programmer and he's in his basement, no one would ever fucking know.
Right.
And he could still run the business out of his house.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay.
But Dale, my good neighbor, the old fella, he is pissed off because this guy's running a landscaping company and he's got 4 trucks, all this equipment, fertilizer, all kinds of shit that he's worried about. Because I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do, but I don't know if the general population know that fertilizer is a main ingredient in what?
What? Like, you talking about cow dung?
No, I'm talking about in major bombs.
Oh, okay.
People use that shit. It can blow up
Okay.
in the wrong or in the right conditions. Just saying. He believes it's a hazard. He believes that the guy could be rats and shit, all kinds of stuff. You never know. You don't know.
Okay.
And plus, when this guy, it's seasonal, right? He runs a landscape. So in the like from now until October, he's got guys, and this whole street is lined up with cars.
Okay.
This little cut road. The one neighbor's pissed off because they're all along his edge, and basically, the Dale, our neighbor, he's pissed off because they're running a large business now out of a residential property.
Okay.
And my question to you is, he's already petitioned it. He only had a few signatures. They didn't do nothing about it. How big does your company have to get before you have to go buy a fucking building or an office? Is it because it's zoning, right? At some point you run into zoning problems.
Yes, at some point you do.
Because now what he did was he told Dale, he goes, no, we're looking for a place. But then, you know what he did this last weekend? He fucking dug up the sides of his driveway to make his driveway wider. And he poured the fucking concrete, put the gravel down, poured the concrete so he could fit all of his fucking shit in there.
Yeah.
So he's not going nowhere.
Probably not.
So I guess my question is, how big is too big for a small to mid-range company to be out of a residential?
If your paperwork's right, it doesn't matter. Honestly.
But somebody should be able to do something. Somebody be able to be like, all right, look at this guy. He's got 4 trucks in his driveway. He's got shit all over the place.
Maybe. I don't know. Part of it is going to have to do with what the town... Is it in the township or is it in a city limit?
I mean, I don't know how Norton city limits work.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know if it's township or if it's city limit, because that's going to have a little bit of a bearing on it too, because your restrictions are always going to be tighter inside of a city for what you can and can't do. But then you're getting into yes, zoning matters. But then you're coming back to how your company is set up, to where if you're rocking like a sole proprietorship and then you're paying these guys either under the table, which isn't illegal if you have a sole proprietorship, it's illegal for them to not pay taxes on it,
right?
But it's not illegal for you. Now, as a sole proprietor, you don't have to offer a 1099 either. If you're doing an LLC, an S corp, something like that, you have to have a 1099 at the very least that shows that they're independent contractors. As a sole proprietorship, you don't have to do anything because it's also tied to your personal finances. So it's kind of tricky as far as what it is. So I can even see it with an LLC. He can probably get away with it if he has it to where it's not like he's actually doing manufacturing or anything like that on the grounds.
No.
It's basically like, I have an LLC. I am renting my garage and my driveway to my company to house the equipment and stuff that I need. The work for the company is actually being done either in a home office or at the residences where the work is needed to be done.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, yeah.
So it's super tricky. I mean, it's one of those, I hate to say it this way, but if the town wants to shut it down, they can. If the town wants to let it go, they can.
Right.
It doesn't really matter either way to the town unless it becomes like a real problem. Like, okay, if you can prove that there's an intersection on that road where accidents are becoming more frequent because of this, then you have a civil reason that you can take that. But you can't take that to him and be like, I want him gone because I don't like it.
Right. Well, I don't really care.
Right.
In my situation,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me. But when I see all his cars lined up on the road and I see these kids wandering around on their bikes and I see these other cars with it, because now all of a sudden it's a 1-lane road.
Yeah.
It that's where I get a little concerned just as the neighborly guy. But as far as like how Dale hates it, it don't bother me like that.
Yeah. I mean, is it a risk for like your daughter when she's driving?
Well, I'll say the other day I came down there and they had both sides plugged up and I couldn't get through my road.
Right. So
And
like
then they're like, oh, and then they run around and I'm literally waiting like 7 minutes.
yeah.
And I'm like, I could just back up and get the fuck out of here. But I'm like, no, I'm going to stay here, make these guys continue to run around.
Yeah. I mean, like that would be more like the complaint that I would give.
Yeah.
And then like something like this too, like you're also going to have like, you can't say one time that the road was blocked. You know what I mean? The city's going to block the road in front of your house at some point. You're not going to get rid of the city workers.
Right.
But like if you develop a pattern to where you're able to document, hey, this is what's going on. It happened on this date, this date, this date. Continue to do this. You know, we made a complaint, nothing happened. We made a complaint, nothing happened. Eventually, the squeak gets the oil. You know what I mean? But if the guy isn't being a jerk face, now the other thing you have to keep an eye on, and like I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just going to say, I know a guy that was a zoning commissioner, right? For a very small area. One of the guys was running a garage out of his garage, you know?
You mean like a repair shop?
Yeah, he didn't build anything bigger than what he already needed, but he was running a garage, you know? Guy found out about it and he basically exchanged him, you know, a little bit of free service work for not making a big stink about the whole thing. So if
he
one of
was
the things I would do is
rubbing
find
shoulders
out,
with somebody.
So I would find out who your zoning commissioner is and then drive past our house and see what kind of prettiness they have in their front yard to have an idea whether or not he's actually using this guy or not. Because stuff like that happens all the fucking time.
You mean where he's making the landscape guy, or the landscape guy's prettying up his yard?
Yeah, we got another complaint on Friday. I'm going to need that rhododendron in by next Friday.
I hear you.
You know?
Here. I do have we'll move on from that, but thanks for the update.
Sure.
I do have an update, and I don't know if I ever talked about this, and I'm sure, I know I did, because we talked about, we have asshole neighbors.
Assholes!
So this is a great little story. I'll keep it quick. This is the guy behind me that is a really fucking jackass. This is the guy that has no trees.
Okay.
And every time the 5 neighbors' trees that quarantine his area, or quadrant his area, whatever, they all fall in his yard. He wants to go down and blow them back in everybody's yard. And I always said I wanted to go out there and take 5 trash bags to him and be like, listen, I'll help you bag up. You can take this bag to that guy. I'll take mine. You know, come on, asshole. Just do your fucking part.
Right.
I get it. You don't like trees because you don't own one, but you live in the world. Put a dome over your house or fucking deal with it.
Move out into the sticks someplace. You know, there's plenty of plains states where you can live in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't even know how many years. We'll just say 8 years ago, I put up a big-ass privacy fence. Cost me like $1,300. It was expensive for like six or 8 panels. You know, these huge fucking things.
Sure.
But best thing I ever did to keep these fuckers out of our life. Now we don't even know they exist, right?
Yeah.
Until we're doing our dishes and we can see out the back. But what this asshole would do is he'd come through and he would get as close as he could with his riding lawnmower and bump my fucking fence. Now, I paid a lot of fucking money for this fence. The last thing I want is this asshole running into it.
Right.
So, got on eBay or Amazon, whatever it was, and bought a sign that literally says, pre-made, keep off fence. It's been posted.
Yeah.
Went around, stuck it. It's got 1,000-mile-an-hour tape on it. It ain't ever coming off.
Yeah.
It's even yellowed a little bit. It's been on there so fucking long.
Yeah.
He's just continued to bump into it. So throughout the last 3 years, we've put rocks out there by every. I mean, there's only 7 posts, but we put these good sized rocks by every just to think. Well, he's not gonna want to. No. You know what he does? He fucking likes to smash him into my fence now. Or move him 3 feet, whatever. Just he hits him. You don't hit him with his tire because he's got a rider. He hits him with the deck. He don't give a fuck about the deck.
Yeah,
it's a fucking big metal thing. And I have thought and pondered and thought, especially over this past winter, like, what am I gonna do? I mean, the things that come up on my phone are like these gadget things. You go figure me, right? I'm the gadget guy. Like, and they're showing like these guys that weld these rebar together, and then they'll make like a rake out of it. But they make the ends of the rake like really pointy and look almost like a fucking like medieval weapon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, if I could have something like that and put it into the ground in front of each post, just as a deterrent. Now, but then I'm like, oh well. He is the kind of guy that will call the cops, and if I have this fucking sharp-ass shit by my fence, I'm like, we do have kids running around. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hurt somebody if they fell into it, right? That's all I need.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking, what can I fucking do? What can I fucking do? And everything that I thought about was just going to be a lot of time and money, or I'm going to, my stepfather does weld. I'm like, I could go spend a whole day with him and spend a shit ton of money and a whole shit ton of time. We could build some shit to just fucking keep this guy off, make a false fence with put some barbed wire around it, just something to keep his ass off that. I'm like, it's just going to look stupid, and it's just too much time and money. And so I searched it finally on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you do to keep asshole neighbors off your property? And the quick and the short of it was, this guy bought a house with his family and dog, and this other guy, a neighbor, it was a big property, and he'd been taking the hay from this property for years, decades. And when the new guy bought it, he's like, well, I'm going to keep doing that. And the guy's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be your enemy, but and the dude that was making the videos, it seemed like the nicest guy in the world, but he's like, no, listen.
Yeah. Hey now, things have changed. Yeah.
So the guy, whenever they were gone, the guy would go on their property and he would fuck around, and he would go into their fucking garage and let their dog out, and they'd come home and their dog was on the fucking front porch. Could have ran off, got run over, killed, whatever. And so the dude said, I fixed it with a crayon. And on the back door where the guy was walking in, he put a sheet up and he wrote in a crayon, "Smile, you're on CCTV." The guy didn't even put a camera up, and the dude never came back. So I'm like, well, I have cameras all around my house, and I'm like, so I need to put one down the fence row. So I have one inside my garage that doesn't get the most use. I mean, it's literally shining in my garage. I have it. It's more of like a what are those rooms that you build to like hide?
A safe room?
It's more of like a safe room situation to where if somebody's trying to get in my back door, I can actually speak through it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the cops are on their way. It's one of those things.
Right.
So, but it doesn't get. I mean, it's not like I can't stare at my perimeter.
Sure.
I can look at it. And I'm staring at my fucking bench in my garage.
Yeah.
So I'm quick thinking one afternoon while I was on lunch break.
Yeah.
I pulled it down. And all these do is plug into electric and their Wi-Fi. And so I literally screwed it to the side of my fence one I don't know, 12:30 in the afternoon, plugged it in, shine it down, and guess what? That fucker leaves about a good 8 inches now.
That's all it took.
I know that's a lot, but if you have a fucking neighbor, it could even be a fake camera, it could be a sign on a crayon. It didn't cost me a dime in the end.
Yep.
And it was a tiny bit of work. And I already had the fucking... And if,
I love it.
Listen, if I had to buy that camera, for my system, it's not a big crazy thing, but it would have been like $40, $50. Still would have been really worth it.
Totally worth it.
And so there you go. That's a solution.
I love it.
For dickhead neighbors. Because anybody will do something when no one knows they're doing it.
Right.
Or no one can see them.
Yeah.
But as soon as they think the world can see them, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They stop immediately. Off subject, but on subject. So they're Wi-Fi cameras? You have an app for your phone?
Yeah, I can show you them right now.
Like what brand? Like, sell me.
I look at the app.
What do they cost? Do you download the app and you get 3 things? You got to pay for a monthly service, or how's it work?
And ran.
See
that? But see, here's the thing. There are a certain kind of camera that the Chinese can break into, and I don't know if this is them. I'd have to do a little bit more research. I'm just telling you, there is a certain kind of camera.
I mean, somebody can tap into it. It's
right.
being processed across Wi-Fi. It's just how hard it is to get into it.
But the problem that people with a certain type of these cheap cameras, if they can hack into your system, then technically they can get into your network because it is hooked to my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So I'm not going to sit here and sell this brand because I haven't done that much research on it.
Fair enough.
But as far as
was it $100?
It was like $150
for 3 cameras.
4 cameras.
4 cameras. Did you have to pay a monthly charge?
No.
So it's just one-time payment.
One-time payment.
It hooks into your Wi-Fi.
Hooks into my Wi-Fi.
And you can monitor it anywhere.
And
Good to know.
And I can add up to, I can have 8 cameras.
Cool.
I added 2 other ones. I have 6. The type I have, they're indoor outdoor. They I bought the last two that I added have speaker capabilities where I can listen. I can do a little alarm. It's a cheapy thing. It's like whoop whoop. It's really quiet though.
Too.
And I can also speak. Now it is broken a little bit. It's not always perfect.
Doesn't have to be.
But you can get things across.
Yeah. Fun. I didn't know that's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, it's very handy. Wasn't retarded to set up. Finally got the clock figured out.
Yeah.
But because every time the power would go out, now I finally have it set to where it's automatic.
Nice.
And it's good.
So now you're best friends.
No. No, but you know what? He's only mowed twice since the camera's up.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is I can actually, if I go and rewatch it,
yeah, I can.
There's like a bunch of little icons on the side. I can take a snapshot while I'm rewatching it. Like, oh, here he comes. Take a picture of him. Or I can hit record, and it'll actually record that 7 seconds or that 4 seconds, whatever I want, as he's going by, and I can hit done. And all of a sudden, on my phone, I have that 4 seconds.
Cool.
And I don't have to go back and look at it anymore.
Yeah.
I have it. It's simple, but it works. I just hope the Chinese don't break into my fucking Wi-Fi and hack my bank accounts. I'm sure I'm not their largest target.
Fingers crossed for you.
But then, yeah. All right. I have one more. I was going to talk about fantasy sports, but I think we can.
We'll table that.
We'll table that.
We got plenty of sports tonight. Knocking people out, NFL drafts, good times.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Before we get out of here, we want to mention, like we always do, if you guys are really struggling with anything, you don't really know who to turn to, things are getting really bad, please call the National Mental Health Awareness Hotline. That number is 1-800-662-4357. If that's what you need, there'll be somebody on the other end to help you.
Absolutely. So if you're having bad thoughts about hurting yourself or others, please pick up the motherfucking phone. Don't think it's too big or whatever. Just do it.
You got this.
Take care of yourself.
That's it. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you again real soon.
Pip, pip.
Cheerio.
By the way, I used the old outro music on that last episode.
That's pretty fucking cool, though.
Sorry about it, everybody.
Missed the old outro.